Hi, so today we're going to be looking at how ways that you can help yourself by clearing your sinuses, especially if you're having a little bit of trouble breathing, whether you've got sinusitis, rhinosinusitis, or whether you just got a heavy cold. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be looking at opening up your nose around your facial area and around your eyes, because this helps to drain the excess fluid, it helps to open up the airways. So what we're going to be doing first is we'll just grab some face cream or some oil, and we're just gonna rub around our face. It's so that our fingers don't drag the skin when we're working. So we're just going underneath the eyes, around the jaw area, but also up above the eyes, around the eyebrows. Okay, so what we're going to be doing first is we're going to be looking at opening up these channels. So the first one, and how they feel underneath your fingers, is they're like little dips in the bone or structure. So we're going into the corner of the eyebrows first. Now some of these points may feel a little bit tender, and we just work around the eyebrow, and as you're feeling, find little dips within the eyebrows. Now the middle one, this one can be quite painful, because this one's in the, if we look at meridians, this is the gallbladder meridian, so that one can be a little bit tender sometimes. And then we're just working out to the outside of the lower brow, and then into the corner of the eye, and then we follow that line so it's level with your ear and going into the top of the ear, and you'll find a dip there. Okay, and then we move down. Now if you open and shut your mouth, you'll feel the hinge of the jaw. So that's where we need to just press in lightly there. And then underneath the earlobe. Okay, that one can be quite tender too. So we just go along the jaw. So there's little dips all along the jawline. Okay, so we do those. Then we come back to here, and then we go into like the nape of the nose, just into the corner of the eye, and we just press in there. And then we come into the crease, into this part of the nose here. So it's just in line with like the your cheekbone. Okay. Right, so what we first of all we're going to be doing is we're going to place one finger here and one finger on the bridge of the nose. So we press it in gently with those. It shouldn't be painful. And then we come to the middle and we just stretch out that area. Okay, stretch out that area. And sometimes, especially if you're feeling a little bit nasally, you might feel or hear it crackle in this area. I say do it three or four times, and then we do the same on the other side. So press into these spots, into the nape of the nose, and in the corner of the on the lower nasal, and then we stretch out. Okay. Right, and then we work on the eyebrows. So just with your finger or your thumb, but whichever you feel easiest, is just to press in gently and just run your thumb or your fingers along your eyes into that node in the corner, and then press out towards the ear. Okay, and again, press into the eyebrows and just pull along to the base of the eyebrows, into the corner of the eye, and then push out. So what we're doing is, if there's any fluid, sinus fluid, we're working that away. This can also, this area here especially, can be really good if you get like sort of temple headaches across your brow. So we're pulling into the corner of the eye and out. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're just going to work just above the eyebrows. So again, start in that corner, and then we pull up, out, down, and then out towards the ear. Okay, and again, so we're starting in that corner, pull it up, pull it around, down, and one more time. Into the corner, pull it up, working along the top of the eyebrows, down to the dip at the side of the eyes, and then follow that line out your ears. Okay. So this time we're going to be working along here, and this is really good if we get, I suffer with puffy eyes because I get a little bit of sinusitis. So this area here, just gently, because you're not actually working on the bone, you're just going into that soft tissue area. So we are going to work fairly gentle, but again here you might feel it crackling into the corner of the eyes and again out towards the ear. So we're working from the inside of the nose, so press into that area here, and you might feel pressure relief when you're pressing into that area there, into the nasal cavity, and then just slowly pull out and out into the ear. One more time. I mean, you can do this as often as you like. Obviously, if you're feeling really stuck up, really puffy, then you can repeat this more times. Okay. So next one, we're going to be working from this area here, and we're going to be working underneath the cheekbone, and we're going to be pulling out into the middle of the ear where our jawline, our jaw hinges. Okay, so whichever finger you feel, you can use a ring finger, a bit more difficult with the thumb, I think, or your middle finger. Sorry about the finger gestures. So we press into that, and we're just pulling along that line. Okay, it's easier if you're doing it on somebody else rather than doing it on yourself. Again, pressing in. And again, you might feel or hear some crackling, and this will be like sort of disturbing or like sort of releasing the sinusy fluids all down underneath there. Okay, and then like sort of pulling it down into that ear there. Okay. So once we've obviously opened up these nodes, we're going to be working to pulling any fluid that we might have in the, especially in the jowl area here as well. But we would have been draining down in here, so we need to get this fluid moving down because it's part of the lymphatic system. So we from the heart up, we work the lymph down. So what we're going to be doing is between your index finger and your middle finger, so we're going to cup the jaw area, and we're just going to pull back to that area, and then we're going to come down this muscle here with our two fingers, so you're either side of that muscle, and you're draining that fluid down into your collarbone area. Draw it up towards the ear, and then down that muscle into the collarbone area. One more time. Down into that area. Okay, so hopefully that helps with your breathing, helps to release your sinus area. Happy breathing. See you next time.